We'll call the meeting to order today, Wednesday, August 19th, of the Montachusett Metropolitan Planning Organization. We'll do a roll call just to confirm who's present. Please call the roll, Brian.
Okay, so I'm calling the roll of signatories that I see on here. So we have Derek Schuster representing Mass DOT Secretary and CEO Phil Ing,
Derek Schuster here.
Sarah Bradbury representing Jonathan Gulliver, the Mass DOT Highway Division Administrator,
Yep, Sarah Bradbury here.
Glenn Eaton from MRPC. I know
Yes, here.
Glenn's. Abby Arpano, Subregion 2.
Here.
Logan Bree, Subregion 3.
Here.
And I see Michael Yaboa from Mart, so that brings us to a quorum.
Great. In that case, we'll continue on with the agenda as normal. No proposed revisions or tablings at the moment. Next item is public comment. Are there any members from the public wishing to make public comment at this time? If so, please use the raise hand feature. I am not seeing any raised hands, so we will move on from public comment. But if anyone from the public does have questions or comments, just use the raise hand feature and wait to be called on by the chair. Next item is approval of the June 17th, 2026 minutes. The minutes were prepared and shared in advance of today's MPO board meeting. Before we take any recommended changes or questions on the minutes, could we have a motion and second to approve the minutes from June 17th?
So moved, Abby Arpano.
Thank you, Abby.
Second.
I don't know if that was Mike or Glenn, but thank you. Are there any proposed revisions to the minutes from the June meeting? Seeing and hearing none. Brian, please call the roll.
Derek Schuster, Mass DOT.
Yes.
Sarah Bradbury, Mass DOT Highway.
Yes.
Glenn Eaton, MRPC.
Yes.
Michael Yaboa, Mart.
Yes.
Abby Arpano, Subregion 2.
Yes.
And Logan Bree, Subregion 3.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Next item is the federal fiscal year 2026 to 2030 Transportation Improvement Program. As Brian mentioned, we do have a proposed amendment on today's agenda.
Yep, that's right. And so you see a summary of proposed amendment number 4 to the federal fiscal year 2026 to 2030 Transportation Improvement Program. This involves the addition of one project, not in our target section, so it doesn't affect fiscal constraint in any way. This is a new project in federal fiscal year 2026 in Leominster. It's culvert replacement, culvert repair, and retaining wall replacement at 3 locations in Leominster. This is loosely related to the flooding event in 2023 in September that the city saw 9 inches of water in like 7 hours or whatever it was. A lot of damage was done. This is new federal money, a new project on federal fiscal year 2026 to mitigate some of these issues. What we would like to do is vote to send this out for public comment period, which will commence August 21st and close September 11th. At the same time, we would suggest conditionally endorsing this project. If you remember, the federal fiscal year ends in about a month and a half. This will need to be amended onto federal fiscal year 26. We hadn't planned to meet in September. It's a relatively uncontroversial project. As long as no major changes have made to it during the comment period and no major comments are made, as we've done in the past, we have conditionally endorsed these amendments. That's what staff would suggest. So what we're looking for is ultimately a motion to send this out for public comment and conditionally endorse at the end of the comment period, as long as no major changes or comments are made.
So I have a question, Brian. Does your tip allow for waiving, or your public engagement and public participation plan allow for waiving or shortening public comment period on certain circumstances?
Yes, we could shorten it to 10 days if
Okay.
that is a better option. Derek and Mass DOT, you would have a better handle on this than I do in terms of the urgency.
So yeah, I'll give a little context as to the unique circumstances with this juncture in the year and the proposed amendment. So, as Brian had mentioned, this is a project that's been in development and was being prepared as if it was going to be a non-federal aid project, but seeing as there are emergency relief funds for the project, that's the other federal funds that I think are reflected somewhere in here. Because of those emergency relief funds, uh, we'd like to use them instead of not use them. This is the only project they can be used for. They do need to be reflected on the tip. The emergency relief funds do not fully cover the total project cost of this culvert replacement work, which is why Protect and Surface Transportation Block Grant funding were also identified to supplement that gap for a total cost of $5.89 million. The project has a scheduled advertisement date of September 6th. We are at the end of federal fiscal year 2026, and the final tip amendments for the year have to go out as part of a STIP action that MassDOT needs to send to Federal Highway for approval, basically by the end of August or the first day or two of September, because the feds close the books, so to speak, on mid-September as we get to that closeout of federal fiscal year 2026. So MassDOT's recommended action here is either to waive or shorten comment period on a conditional approval of this tip amendment so that we can take advantage of the federal dollars, federal emergency relief dollars for this project. I realize that was a
Great.
lot to unload, but if there's any
Yeah.
questions, I'm happy to chime in.
Yeah, I'd like to commend DOT for putting this out there. I think it's good if we can get this through. We could shorten it to 10 days. Um, that being said, we could start it on the 21st and end it on the 31st of August, which should give enough headway for the September 6th advertisement date.
Are there any questions or proposed action from anyone on the board?
I so move to what Brian said, to shorten it to 10 days. Conditionally approved.
Okay. Is there a second? Thank you,
Second.
Michael. Okay, so we have a motion and second to release amendment number 4 for a 10-day public comment period with conditional approval absent any adverse comments received by MPO staff on the amendment. If there's no other questions, Brian, please call the roll.
Derek Schuster, Mass DOT.
Yes.
Sarah Bradbury, Mass DOT Highway.
Yes.
Len Eaton, MRPC.
Yes.
Micah Yaboa,
Yes.
Abby Arpano, Subregion 2.
Yes.
And Logan Bree, Subregion 3.
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much.
To everyone, next item is an update on the regional transportation plan.
Okay. So this is informational only. I just wanted to brief MPO members on a major planning document that the MPO is responsible for coming up, the Regional Transportation Plan. This is our long-range transportation plan for the region. It's another federally required document that is necessary to keep federal funds flowing into the region. So we're going to be starting this process. We're required to put this together every 5 years. Here is an executive summary for the plan that we have in place that we developed in 2023. Many of you were involved in that or around then for when we developed this last plan. That plan is named Journey to 2050. So basically, the long range plan is a transportation plan for the region that we analyze what we have now, determine some of the needs, the trends. We project into the future, bring in demographics, a number of other things to try to determine uh, where we should be in 25 years. There's a financial component. We project what we can expect from federal and state funding for the region over those 25 years and plan accordingly and prioritize accordingly. So again, this is an executive summary of the plan we have in place to give you some indication of what this is all about. It's a large undertaking. It's an important undertaking. And for that reason, we've worked a large majority of MPO staff's work program to focus on the regional transportation plan next year, starting on October 1st. Already, staff has been discussing this in-house. What you see here is our tentative development schedule. This is a schedule that has worked well for us in the past. As with many of these planning documents, it's important to have organized steps towards the finished product. So again, this schedule is similar to what we've seen in the past. However, we will suggest taking slightly different approaches as we've done in the past going forward. We really like to revamp it this year. Already, we've been approved for additional funding to engage a consultant to assist us with things like surveys, outreach, and just final design of the product. So, the MPO is responsible for this. The MPO staff, Montachusett Region Transportation Planning staff, puts a lot of this together and presents it to the MPO as we do our other documents as well. What we found in the past is, we're focused on the material as we should be, and then, we put it together and we want to professionalize the look basically. So that's where a consultant can help us. Additionally, what we've done, there's a public component to this, right? And part of that is a survey. So typically in the past, we've utilized SurveyMonkey, paper surveys, survey drop boxes, and also, on our website, we've made that available as well. We know things have changed. AI has really come on in the last, it's amazing. It really wasn't in the conversation last time we did this plan. We'd like to utilize that for public engagement, for survey analysis, and we think that a consultant can really assist us with that. So we have a draft RFP that we've been working on in-house. We'll be looking to issue that in the coming weeks for assistance with that type of thing. Additionally, if you were involved in this process before, either with the JTC or the MPO, staff basically has made presentations along the process. We talk about typical planning, techniques such as visioning and talking about the goals and the policies, objectives, things like that. What we'd like to do this go around is to convene somewhat of a RTP focus group, relatively small in size, maybe 20 people or so from across the region, across different disciplines, different agencies, that type of thing, to meet likely quarterly. We haven't figured out any type of schedule or anything like that. And likely, in person for the most part to work together on this. So staff will be the driver of those conversations, and we'll be looking to convene a working group to really make sure that we're taking account of everything in the region. We'll have a lot more information on that in either October or December. Again, we're really going to dig into it our next program year starting October 1st. So there'll be a lot more information on that. In any event, this is the tentative schedule that we plan on following. Staff has been meeting in-house and discussing some of these things, so we have somewhat of a plan in place. We'll be briefing the MPO along with the JTC throughout the process with the goal of having a draft ready to go out for public comment in the spring of 2028 and endorsed in the summer of 2028. So this is what it looks like now. I wouldn't call this a kickoff per se. We're really going to start discussing this in detail and engaging people in the fall. But this is just basically a briefing of what we have moving forward. A lot of this is interesting stuff. We don't want to bog down these meetings with a lot of the minutia. You're responsible for putting this out, endorsing it ultimately. So, we want to make sure that everyone is involved. But we may bring some presentations on, say, demographics or something like that, which is relevant to everyone in the region. UMass Donahue Institute is going to be providing us with some information along with heavy assistance by Mass DOT Planning as well. So we're thankful for those groups. And we'll bring some of that information forward to you, but it's going to look a little bit different than last time in the sense that we'll have a focus group really digging into some of these issues, and we'll bring updates to the MPO along the process. So with that being said, if we don't have materials ready to invite people to this focus group yet, but if you are interested, let me know. If you think somebody from your community or somebody from your agency or whoever would be a good fit, let me know and I'll add them to my list of people. And that's really it for now. If there's any questions, reach out to me. This is just really the beginning of it all.
Thanks, Brian. It's exciting to hear this work kicking off and underway. Are there any questions for Brian on the regional transportation plan update? Well, like Brian said, if any of you or your communities are interested in participating, it's encouraged, and please reach out to Brian and the team at MRPC. We'll move on to the next item, which is the MPO meeting schedule through the end of the calendar year.
Okay, I just wanted to remind people when we last met in June, we endorsed the Unified Planning Work Program. That was basically, that was our last major document that we're responsible for. So we, at that point, decided to go every other month through the end of the calendar year. So I just want to remind you that as of now, unless something pops up, we plan on skipping September. I'll send out a notice just to remind people anyways. But our next meeting would be in October, and then we plan to meet in December again before things ramp up again in the new calendar year, and we'll go every month at that point. So that's just a reminder.
Thanks, Brian. If there's no questions on the MPO meeting schedule, we can continue to updates. We'll start with District 2. I see Daryl on. Are there any D2 updates?
Sure, I can provide you with a few. Yep. All right. So first we have project in 2028. We've got Athol 612151. This is the bridge replacement, Route 2 Main Street over GNW Railroad. We're at 25%. The revised 2 sketch plans and geotech reports were received on August 5th, and comments were completed. Period closed just yesterday, so we're waiting response to comments on that. Next, we have project 613141. This is Athol Orange Bridge Replacement, Logan Road over the east branch of the Tully River. This is at pre-25%. Bridge type selection worksheet revised submission was received on the 12th of August, and review comment period closes on September 10th, and the 25% submission is anticipated in mid-October. Next, we have, and finally, we have project 608415. This is Athol intersection improvements at Route 2A and Brookside Road. This is at 25%. Virtual design public hearing was held on March 24th, and the 75% submission is due on September 8th. That's all I have for now.
Thank you, Daryl. Are there any questions for District 2? Not seeing any. We'll move on to Sarah for D3 updates.
Yep. Start off Harvard Air Road 609213 was advertised June 27th. Bids were open yesterday, so we don't have a notice to proceed date or award yet, but that'll come in the coming days. Lemonster culverts that we just amended into the tip are ready to go. We'll wait for the final tip approval before advertisement. Jumping into next year's tip, the Gardner bike path is at 100%. With an anticipated add date in June. The Fitchburg Ashby Route 131 project 612110 is at 75% with an August add date anticipated. And then finally, Ashburnham Route 101 609244 is at 75%, and right now it's looking for a late 2027 add date. As those designs progress, we'll be able to narrow in on a add date soon. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Sarah. Are there any questions for D3? Not seeing or hearing any. We can move on to Mart.
Okay, thank you, Derek. So Monday, 24th August, we are launching a new microtransit service known as the NCM Rides, which it's a grant award with partnership with Matt and the TMA and various organizations within this region to operates a microtransit service for various zones within this region. We have areas in Gardner, Fitchburg, and Leominster where we have same-day microtransit service, $2 between 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So August 24th is the start date for this service, and we are partnering with the TMA to run this service. And this service is will be using the Mass Connect app, which would have this same day booking, and also riders will be able to track their vehicles whilst they are waiting, and it has the vehicle IDs. They can also reach out to Matt if there is any delays and all within the Mass Connect app. And the next update is we have Gardner route changes coming up on August 31st. So these changes affects routes in Gardner and also routes in Arthur, and as well as our general regional routes. So these changes seek to connect all our Arthur routes to Gardner, and at the same time connect our Gardner route to Fitchburg. So if you are moving from Arthur with the current schedule, once you get to Gardner City Hall, you can transfer to the next bus to Fitchburg for that route changes. And also we added an additional extra time for the local Arthur routes to go an extra hour. And also with these changes, we added frequency to the between Fitchburg and Gardner by taking off some section of Leominster, such that all residents in Leominster will use our local routes to the ITC Fitchburg, and they can connect to Gardner from ITC Fitchburg. And that improved our general frequency. And also, I'd like to give a general update on our ridership for this past fiscal year. So we had this data late July. So for March, looking at the from our 2024 NTD data, we realize our ridership is up 30% in general for all our cross-board, and fixed routes is about 38%, which is great news on that, because every transit agency wants the fixed routes ridership to be moving up because the cost is fixed, and it improves general efficiency. But thanks to MassDOT and the Fare Free, and also the MPO and general organizations within this region for helping Matt to promote transportation and also talking about transportation in various discussions. Thank you.
Congratulations on that ridership data, and thank you for that update. Are there any questions for Mart? All right, we'll move on to Montachusett JTC.
JTC met last week. They have also opted to go every other month. We had a short meeting last week. Our next meeting is October 14th. Likely we'll discuss some of the RTP stuff at that meeting. I'd also like to share on behalf of Fish and Wildlife Division of Ecological Restoration another funding opportunity for dam removal, preliminary design services. More information on this handout. And also just share this on behalf of MRPC, our latest grant opportunity list that's put together by our Planning and Development Department. This was updated a few weeks ago on July 27th.
Thank you, Brian. And lastly, Montachusett Regional Planning Commission. Glenn?
Thanks, Mr. Chair. The MRPC has advertised and re-advertised for some planners in the Comprehensive Planning Department over in, we need some people to do some land use and general planning services that are non-transit, non-transportation related. And we'll be interviewing 3 next week and hopefully another 4. So we're looking for at least 1 person, if not 2, So if anybody wants to get the word out, please feel free to do so. Direct them to our website, mrpc.org, and it has the information there. And thank you all for your time today.
Thank you, Glenn. Are there any updates from members at this time on anything else? Seeing and hearing none there. Moving on to administrative matters. Our next MPO meeting, I believe, is scheduled for September 16th at 1 p.m.
Right. So we're opting to go every other week. So that would put us, every other month. That would put us October 21st.
Okay.
Barring anything that comes up. And I'll make sure to send out reminders in September that we're skipping. Again, unless something comes up.
All right. Thanks, Brian. Could I please have a motion and second to adjourn?
I'll move.
Second.
Are there any objections? Seeing and hearing no objection, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone, and have an excellent rest of your week.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.